Okay. Huge welcome to everyone this evening. It is an absolute highlight of my week to see all of your faces virtually. Um, One of the things that's on my mind lately about this practice specifically is um, how um, we I tend to lose track or not emphasize enough um, the lineage of yoga. And I think that more importantly than anything else, what I was drawn to, what I come back to all the time is that asana is really one limb of a multi-limbed practice of behaviors and disciplines and breathing. But asana, which is what we practice primarily, even though we do add, and I know all of us value it because I check in with you frequently about things you would like to do. The preparation, the reason we do all these poses is to prepare us for one pose only, which is sitting. And the irony is not lost on me that so often when I ask people, what would you like to do? What are your requests? I hear things about thigh openers. I sit too much. And I'm like, this is so weird and counterintuitive. So it is what it is. I relate to that. I sit also. My hip flexors are always aching. My chest is always begging to be expanded. So we're going to do some hip work tonight, which I think um, is always a favorite, and we'll add a little bit of twisting, so we'll call it hips with a twist, and hopefully we'll get to everything delightful and divine. And as always, you know your body a lot better than I do. You know what it will take you to get to that place where you can sit comfortably, whether that's an emotional barrier or a physical barrier or a mental barrier. So please modify your practice as needed. That's the absolute most important part of showing up. So we're gonna start standing, right, as our first counter pose to sitting. And if you're in your mind like, ugh, that's how I feel when teachers say we're gonna start standing, but we're not gonna. Your invitation, sorry, Kitty Cones, for the first couple breaths here is that you don't have to take on any alignment. Just stand. Just feel your feet on the ground. You can close your eyes. You can do anything you'd like with your arms. Rocking my weight from side to side here feels most right now. You can do that. You don't have to. Please let your intuition be your guide. And then if stillness is calling to you, or even if it isn't, start to settle your awareness to the breath, just what it's like to breathe in and out. The breath can be extraordinarily revealing. So as I breathe here, I am noticing the way my shoulders right away tense up and the way my upper chest is so resistant to expanding. And, one of the other invitations in the yoga practice in this larger scope, whether it's asana, whether it's practicing the yamas or the niyamas, these restraint practices, is to withhold judgment. So we practice taking the seat of an observer. There's no judgment. And that's what we're moving into right now. Just notice what the day has done to the breath, what 2020 has done to the breath. Just enjoy. Feel your feet on the floor. A sense of grounded, a sense of attached, right? Our feet are, um, they're all touching the same earth. And if you'd like, if it's interesting or meaningful to you. Start to lift up through the crown of the head. Feel yourself grow an inch or two. I'm going to offer some invitations to move. You're more than welcome to stay just as you are if stillness feels right for you right now. The next time you inhale, send your arms up and overhead. I don't care if your ribs flare out. And if you're noticing the ribs flare out, just see what happens if you draw them in. Take your left wrist with your right fingertips, lift up and over to the right, push down into the feet, wrap your right ribs forward a little bit. Feel that side body stretch. When you're ready, inhale through the center, switch sides, super simple. Take the right wrist, lean up and over to the left. Try to keep the hips, the ribs, the shoulders square forward. Push into your right foot especially. Inhale, come through center. As you exhale, slip your hands behind you. Bring your hands to your low back. My fingertips are pointing kind of up and out-ish. That's what my shoulders will allow in this moment. Roll your shoulders onto your back. Snuggle them into their sockets and squeeze the elbows towards each other just for a little bit of a shoulder opener. And then at the same time, use your hands to drive the tailbone down. Start to bend into the knees, slide the hands down the backs of the legs, come all the way to a forward fold, and then we'll set up a good forward fold here. Bring your two fists between the balls of your feet. That's perfect hips width distance. And then with your fists, make an imprint with your thumb, like push the big toe ball mound of your foot down into the mat. Your knees are bent, that's perfect. And then bring your hands to your outer heels. Push your outer heels isometrically so nothing's going to move in space into your hands. Feel the outer hips light up. And then notice that the big toe ball mound pops up. Push that down as you push the heels away from you. Breathe in. Relax your neck and your jaw. Breathe out. One more breath. Your legs are fired up. And then straighten the legs-ish. Fold forward. Let the effort go. Big stretch behind the backs of the legs. Bend into the knees ever so slightly. Round two, push into the big toe ball mound. Bring your hands to your outer calves. And then same thing, push out against your hands. Feel your outer hips really light up. I'm shaking a little bit here. Soften your jaw. Soften your neck. Last breath in and out. And then straighten the legs-ish. Fold, just relief. Oh. Last round, bend into the knees a little bit. Bring your hands to the outer thighs. Push your thighs into your hands. As your hands push the thighs in, feel the outer line of the leg really light up. Breathe in and out. And then fold forward, straighten the legs-ish. On fingertips or palms, just walk, 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 skitter, 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 feet back. Drop your knees, take a child's pose. Arms rest long at the sides of your legs. Forehead comes to the mat. And then same thing from here, just like you did when you were standing. Stillness might feel like the place to stay. It might feel nice too to kind of rock along the brow, rock weight of your hips from one heel to the other heel. Move in a way that's really sweet for you. Just take a breath or 2 breaths, 5 breaths. Rock up to table when you're prepared. And then it seems like a lot of people like this shoulder rolling action. And again, I took from my friend Molly O'Neill, who teaches out in California. So we'll do this together. Plant your palms firmly on the mat and then squeeze your shoulders up by your ears. So you're making your neck disappear. And then keep your arms straight. Drop your chest like you're pulling your shoulder blades together on your back. And then let the shoulders slide down the back so you're revealing your neck again. Push down into the hands. Let the shoulder blades slide away from each other, just like cat just in the shoulders. And then shoulders up by the ears. Let your chest drop, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Shoulder slide down the back, reveal your neck, and then push the shoulder blades away from each other. One more in that direction. Shoulders by the ears. Drop the chest, shoulders down the back, push the shoulder blades apart. We will reverse. Shoulder blades down the back, squeeze together, shrug the shoulders by the ears, and then push the shoulder blades apart. Shoulders down the back, squeeze them together, up by the ears, separate them. And then one more, any iteration that you love. And then we'll be back in table in a short time. Let's take Anahatasana from now. If there's anything you feel like you're missing, you'll have a round two. So hips stay stacked right over the knees. Hands walk forward. Chest melts back and down. Sits bones are pointing up. And then this pulsing action that I love here is drawing the belly in towards the spine. And then letting the chest and the belly really sink. Lower your elbows to the mat. Shift your shoulders forward, just over the elbows. Walk your knees back. Come to Sphinx pose. Untuck your toes. Connect all 10 toes to the ground. Zipper the inner thighs in towards the midline. And then just like you did when you were standing, there's nothing supporting you this time. Push the legs out wide, fire up your glutes so it's isometric. Feel like that gives you a little bit more lift in the chest. And then let it go. And then do that 2 more times. So push down into the feet, slide them out wide without moving anything in space. And then let the effort go. Push down into the elbows, push out against the feet and the legs. And then let your chest and your forehead come to the ground. Hands slide back by your ribs. Inhale for a baby cobra here. Shoulders slide down your back. As you exhale, just push your way up to table, right, as promised. And then I'll give you an idea of a flow, but you have like 10 breaths here to do whatever you like. On an inhale, shift your way forward, let your hips sink down. So it's like a knees down up dog. As you exhale, just push back a little bit with toes tucked, seat to heels like a puppy pose. And then inhale to a knees down up dog. And exhale back to a puppy pose, or make this your own, absolutely. If you're coming into a knees down up dog, as you get to that part where your chest is lifting, think about sliding the knees away from each other, really firing up your glutes, what that does to the sensation of back bend. And then take about 3 more breaths here. Let whatever pulsing action you're exploring guide you into a downward facing dog. We won't be there for too long, so if your wrists are not interested, just stay for an extra breath in whatever flow you've created. Down dog, we're going to meet there. Next time you exhale, push down and away with the hands. And then think about the shins and the tops of the feet squeezing towards each other. And then even here, slide the feet to the outer edges of the mat without losing connection to your big toe ball mound. And then look forward, please. Take a slow walk, footprint by footprint, to the top of your mat. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins, please. Find a halfway lift. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way to stand, arms to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands together in front of your heart. Feel the beating, the rhythm from within. Okay. We're going to move in around our mat. What we do on one side will be facing forward, and then we'll do it facing the back of the mat. If you have to turn yourself so that you can follow along visually, that's fine. You'll end up in the same place. Lower your hands to your hips, feel your feet on the ground, and then without the use of your hands on your outer legs, Feel that sliding out action. Stamp down into your left foot. Bring your right knee up to hip height. Now, your standing leg, your left leg, be really tall and strong on it. So the leg's straightened. Bring your right hand to your outer right thigh. And then asymmetrically, push your thigh into your hand as you push your hand into your thigh. Lift up through the crown of your head. Breathe in and out. Last breath in. Keep your hand connected to your knee. Bend into your left knee. Slide the right leg back. When your left hand can touch the ground, touch. Right hand touches the ground. Big step back with your right foot. Lower your right knee down. Pat up if you'd like. Tent up on fingertips here. Round into the upper back and then gaze down the front of the body. Now let yourself really bend into this left knee. So it's more of a thigh stretch for your right leg, the one that was just working, than anything else. Now my left leg and my left arm are connected. If you'd like to add here, push your left leg into your left arm and vice versa. It's really active. Beautiful. Good. Let go of effort. Slide your left hand inside your left leg. Tuck your right toes. Pivot all 10 toes to the left as you walk your hands through center. Wide-legged forward fold. Push the legs straight. And then slide the feet away from each other. Feel how that activates the backs of the legs and the inner groin a little bit. Curl all the way to the back of the mat. Frame out your right foot. Point the left heel up and then lower the left leg down. Bring your right hand to the outside of the right thigh. Tent up on left fingertips and then push the right thigh into the right leg, just like you did standing, and roll your chest open to the right. Left shoulder stays on the back body. Feel your right hip glide back in space. The big toe ball mount of your right foot stays down. Last breath in. Exhale, let it go. Right hand down. With left toes tucked, float your left knee up a little bit. As you exhale, push your right leg straight. Keep a deep bend in your left leg. As you inhale, bend into your right knee, straighten your left leg. As you exhale, bend your left knee, straighten your right leg. One more, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, bend into your right knee. Exhale, step your left foot to meet your right foot. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. Rise all the way to stand, arms to the sky. Hands float down through heart center and land on your hips. Right leg's your standing leg this time. Left knee to hip height. Out, left hand finds the outside of the left thigh. Use your standing leg. And then push your left thigh into your left hand. Left hand pushes into left thigh. Keep breathing. Soften your jaw, soften your neck. Last breath in. As you exhale, start to soften into your right knee. Thread your left leg back. Keep your hand connected to your thigh. When your right hand can touch down, go for it. Left hand meets the ground. Take a big step back with your left foot. Lower your left knee. Tent up on fingertips, round into the upper back. Gaze down the front body. So you've got that big thigh stretch in your left thigh. And then if it is of interest to you, push your right thigh into your right arm and vice versa. So you're not only stretching that outer hip, but you're really making the muscles work. Good. Same shape, no effort. Let it go. Right hand moves inside the right foot. Crawl to the middle of the mat for a wide-legged fold. From fingertips, slide the feet away from you. Feel the sits bones tilt up. And then come back to the top of the mat. Frame out your left foot. Right knee softens down. Left hand outside the left thigh. Push hand into thigh, thigh into hand. Twist open to the left. Keep your right shoulder rolling open, right shoulder blade on your back. Breathe here. Last breath in. As you exhale, release your left hand down, tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. As you inhale, push your left leg straight, bend into your right knee. Inhale, bend into your left knee, straighten your right leg. 3 more just like that. Good. Step your right foot to meet your left. Inhale, halfway lift from here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, arms to the sky. Exhale, dive right back down, hands to the mat. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Plant your palms, step back to plank pose. If you're interested in a vinyasa, we'll lower either chaturanga or to the belly. If you have no interest, take a child's pose or a tabletop. On an inhale, baby cobra pose, cobra dog, or up dog, feel the feet slide isometrically away from each other. Exhale, let's meet in down dog. Drive the heels down, even if the knees are bent. Lift the tops of the feet up to meet the shins. And then inhale, send your right leg up and back to the sky. Squeeze the legs towards the midline, lengthen your left side body. As you exhale, look forward. Step your right foot forward. Pause. Left knee will settle behind the right heel. And then pivot your way down to Ardha Matsyendrasana. You can face diagonal off your mat, that's fine. There's a possibility your left leg will need to straighten for this to be possible for you. Not a problem. To the best of your ability, push your right big toe ball mound down into the ground. Sweep your right fingertips behind you. And for today, take a hug. Left arm takes right thigh. Use your inhale, lengthen up through the crown of your head. As you exhale, twist, but as you do that, squeeze the leg in and use the leg to push the arm away. Big hip opener, yeah? Do that 3 times. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, draw the thigh in. With the thigh, push the arm away, twist. 1 more, inhale. Exhale, thigh in, push the arm away. Last one. Did I just say that? This is really the last one. Good. Unwind. Walk your hands to the left. You can come off your right sits bone. Just give yourself a counter stretch. And then come back onto your right sits bone. Send your right leg wide so you're in a Janu Shirshasana shape. If you straighten your left leg, just bend it again so the foot is inside the inner thigh. There's a possibility that straightening your right leg will cause you to round in your back. Don't worry, bend your knee a little bit, bring your heel to the ground, point your toes straight up. And then everyone, bring your hands behind the base of your skull, widen your elbows, breathe in. As you exhale, twist to the right, bring your elbow towards the left toes without dipping forward. So keep your head leaning back into your hands. Inhale, come back through center. We'll do that 6 more times. As you exhale, twist. Keep finding a deeper range of motion. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, twist. Right toes active, right thigh active. Come back through center. Exhale is your twist. Inhale. 2 more. Last one. Exhale, twist and pause. Breathe in. Glue your sits bone, your right sits bone down. Grow a little taller. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Ooh, unwind. Left hand to the ground. Turn your right toes down. Just lift up for a rock star. Right arm reaches anywhere you want. Big chest opener. Sit back down. The soles of your feet meet. You have a butterfly shape fold forward. As you fold forward, try to avoid rounding into the back. So it's not a lot of effort here, but think about your ribs reaching forward towards the toes. And then roll your way up to sit. Look towards the top of your mat. Stamp your right foot towards the top of your mat so it's over the left thigh, kind of like Ardha Matsyendrasana. Standing split, please. Hands to the mat. Right knee can bend as the left leg shoots back behind you. Keep your right foot down on the ground. Bring your right hand outside your right thigh. Push with your right hand into your right thigh. Right thigh pushes out against your right hand. Ooh. Yeah. Left foot steps down next to the right. Bring your left hand this time outside your right thigh. You'll have to stand up a little bit. Push the thigh into the hand, hand into the thigh, and then come up to stand. Left leg straightens, right knee bends. Right fingertips reach behind you. Push thigh into hand, hand into thigh, so your thigh is not crossing the midline. Good. Keep your left hand as it is. Start to bend into your left knee. Shoot the right leg back as your right hand comes down. Release your left hand, put it on the mat. Right foot steps to the back of the mat. Left leg up and back to the sky. Square the hips. Hug in. Breathe in. Lengthen your right side body. Exhale, step your left foot between your palms. We're here on the second side. Right knee behind left ankle. Spiral your way down to sit. Both sits bones on the mat. If your right leg needs to straighten, go ahead and do that. Left fingertips reach behind you. Big hug with your left thigh and your right arm. Lift up through the crown of your head. As you exhale, hug the leg in. Use the leg to push the arm away. Feel how that lights up your outer thigh. Breathe in. Exhale, everything activates. 2 more breaths. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hug in, push out. Last one, inhale. Exhale, hug in, push out. And then unravel. Hands to the top of the mat. Lift up and off your left sits bone. Nice counter stretch here. Stay on your sits bones. Straighten your left leg out to the left. So you're in a Janu Shirshasana. If you straighten your right leg, rebend it. By straightening your left leg causes you to round into the back. Bend your left knee a little bit so you can sit up nice and tall. Bring your hands behind. Very nice, Christopher. Bring your hands behind the base of your skull. Lean your head back into your hands. Use your hands to lengthen your spine. Take an inhale. You know where we're going. As you exhale, twist to the left. So the right elbow isn't dipping in. Your elbows are staying wide. You're really using the belly. Inhale through center. 6 more. Exhale. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist. Inhale through center. 3 more. Last 2. Beautiful. The next time you're going to twist, stay for a moment. Reactivate your left leg. Left toes up, left thigh working. Breathe. Beautiful. Let it go. Right hand towards the top of the mat. A rock star. Lift your hips. Reach your left arm up and overhead. Anything here that feels good in your chest is fine. Lower your sits bones back to the mat. Feet together, knees wide for Baddha Konasana. Lift your chest up and over the legs as you start to fold. Collect your breath. And come back to sit. Look to the top of your mat. Hands to the top of the mat. Left foot to the top of the mat. And standing split. Does not have to be graceful. Right leg to the sky. Squeeze the inner thighs in. Glue the big toe ball out of your left foot down. And then left hand outside left thigh. Activate. Push thigh into hand, hand into thigh. Right? Remember that left leg knows how to work in this way. Right foot meets left foot. Come up a little bit as you bend the knees. Right hand to left thigh, left hand to hip. Push, hand into thigh, thigh into hand. And then come up to stand. Use your right foot a lot. Push your left thigh into your right hand. So you're coming into a twist. We just did a lot of work to stabilize this pose to prepare. Maybe left fingertips reach back. Good. Keep your hand to your thigh. Start to bend into your right knee. Send the left leg back as your left hand finds the mat. Release your right hand as well. Big step to the back of the mat. Right foot meets left foot. You're in plank pose. If lowering through a vinyasa is meaningful to you, if it's important, go right ahead. Otherwise, table, child's, doesn't matter to me. Exhale, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Just feel. Let your head go, let your neck go, let your jaw go. Right leg floats up and back here. Bend your knee, open your hip. Now explore, let the thigh open. You can let your left shoulder dip down. Just let it feel good, be safe. And then coil the right knee towards the nose, look forward, step forward. Left knee softens down again, pad up if needed. Now right away, squeeze the inner thighs in towards the midline and inhale, arms to the sky, crescent lunge. Feel the right big toe ball mound on the ground. Mine really wants to pop up all the time. As you exhale, bring your hands down through heart center, breathe in. For some of us, hooking the left elbow outside the right thigh will work. If that's not you, come back to left hand down, right hand outside the right thigh and twist that way. Now we've done a lot of work to prepare for this. It's a big hip opener. Push your thigh into your elbow, feel and even look at your right hip sliding back as you resist by gluing the big toe ball mound down. Really feel what you can get into there. Sternum intends towards the thumbs. Last breath here, inhale. Exhale, fullest expression of twist, please. As you unwind, hands inside the left foot. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee. Skandasana, very slowly. Push your right leg straight. Travel to the back of the mat. Right toes turn in. I call this safe Skandasana, where the blade edge of your foot is parallel to the short edge of your mat. Yum, yum. And then pivot into a warrior two. Right toes face the top of the mat. Arms widen at shoulder height. So a lot of the same things that we've done all of class really apply here. Big toe ball now down. Imagine pushing the right thigh out. Breathe. Lift up through the crown of your head. Settle down into your right knee. And then push your right leg straight. Send your right arm up. Bend at your right elbow. Give yourself a tricep stretch. Left hand to right elbow. Just guide it back. As you exhale, bend back into your right knee. Release your right forearm to your right thigh. Send your left arm overhead. From the left fingertips to the blade edge of your left foot, lengthen. Lean your upper body back. Soften your jaw. Good. Push your right leg straight. Reverse your triangle last time. As you exhale, bend into the knee, cartwheel your hands down, frame your right foot, please. Spin up onto the ball of your left foot, lower your left knee down. And then find a Gomukhasana cross. Knee in front of knee. Widen your ankles as much as they'll widen. And then walk yourself back to seat between the heels. Now I'm watching my my yoga partner slash husband over here. And I'm a little worried about his ankles and his knees. So I'm going to tell him, please straighten your left leg. So that's this bottom leg. Yeah, so out in front of you, it'll look like this. Yeah. And then everyone else had a moment to kind of situate. Now, normally, in order to find a really deep hip opener here, we'd fold forward. But the theme of life right now is sitting. And I was thinking we could make it more active, start to apply some of the things we've done instead of rounding forward. So sit up and then bring your hands to your top knee. And you're just using your hands to kind of facilitate this action. Push your hands gently into your thigh, and then with your bottom knee, lift up. You feel that? And then let it go. Pulse with your breath. So let it go as you inhale, and then make it active, like bottom thigh pushes into top thigh, bottom thigh pushes up into top thigh, and then let it go as you inhale. And just do it 2 more times. I can't really tell from looking at you how much effort there is, so let it feel good for you. Okay. Well, you're in your last moment here. I'm going to demo what's going to happen next. In my mind, this is the hardest transition in yoga because we're all intellectual people that come to yoga to stop thinking, but we can't do it. So we're going to make that hard transition where we come into a wide-legged forward fold, but we're going to be at the back of the mat. So when you're ready, your hands will walk to the left of you. So think about what's left before you get started, otherwise this will not work. And then your feet won't move. You'll kind of flex your feet. You'll pop up into a weird cross-legged shape and then pivot all the way to the back of your mat, and let's meet there. So you'll have to bend that front knee. And then hands to the left. You got it, you got it, you got it. All 10 toes face to the back of the mat. Keep your right foot just as it is. Walk your hands far away from you. They're still on the mat, but they're far. Walk your left foot back. And then turn all 10 toes to the right. Coming into this like side plank variation of a hip opener. You have options here. You can let your hips sink down and just take a hip opener here. Or you can pulse as you inhale, lift your hips. Float your right arm like in an arc shape all the way up and overhead. Or you can just sit on your left hip and enjoy a stretch. Take about 2 more breaths here. And then we'll meet in downward facing dog. We'll start this flow from the back of the mat, but you know where we'll end up. We'll meet in down dog. If a vinyasa cycle is calling to you, please go right ahead and take it. It's there for you. From downward facing dog, send your left leg up and back to the sky. Bend your knee, open your hip here. And then as you exhale, coil the knee in towards the nose. Look forward and step forward. Soften your right knee down. In my mind, part of the most important part of what's going to happen here is you're in your left big toe ball mount. Inhale, arms to the sky. It's that crescent lunge. Traction, the front heel, the back knee towards each other, and then carry your hands down to heart center in that prayer shape. Inhale, lift the crown of the head up. As you exhale, hook the elbow outside the thigh, or right hand down, left hand to the thigh. And then push the thigh a lot into the elbow. Feel the left hip crease slide back. And you're resisting that action by pushing down into your left big toe ball mount. And that's giving me every sensation. Last breath or 2 here. Good. When you're ready, unwind. Hands inside the left foot. Slowly, carefully, mindfully. Safe Skandasana, please. Turn your right toes out. Left foot parallels the back of the mat. Just a little stretch. A big stretch for a little moment. Warrior 2, you're facing the back of the mat. And then your left leg doesn't have the feedback of anything, But we created enough muscle memory that if you glue the big toe ball mound down and push the outer thigh out, you'll feel. Good. Push your left leg straight. Left arm reaches up and back. Bend the elbow. Give yourself a tricep stretch. Bend into the left knee. Left forearm lands on the left thigh. Right arm sweeps overhead. Spin the left ribs up. Imagine your right fingertips were connecting to a wall and you could walk them behind you. Good. One more breath. Just stay. Good. After your exhale, inhale to a reverse triangle. Just a moment of relief here. And then exhale, hands to the mat. We're setting up for Gomukhasana, right knee down. So if keeping both knees bent wasn't for you, before you settle down, straighten your right leg out in front of you. If you have the space in your hips to stack left knee on top of right knee, spiral yourself down to sit. That's it, Christopher. So right leg is straight, left knee. Yep, that's it. And then you can rest your hands on your thigh, right? There's this invitation here to lift out through the chest. You'll coordinate this very subtle, it's isometric, very subtle movement with your breath. The exhale activates the thigh. So use the hands as resistance. Left thigh pushes down, right knee lifts up. And then let it go. It's isometric. I can't see it, but you can certainly feel it. Last one. Good. And let it go. Just pause for a moment. And then same transition. This time, hands walk over to the right. You'll flex your feet. And you'll pivot your way to a wide-ish legged forward fold. Hands find what has always been the top of the mat. Right leg steps back. All 10 toes turn to the left. Left fingertips can sweep up. And then maybe your hips sink. Your left hand reaches back for your right foot. As you inhale, you arc the arm up and overhead. Maybe your hips find the ground, your right hip finds the ground, and you just take a moment and you breathe and you enjoy life as it is. We're all going to meet in downward facing dog. We're getting there. And then inhale your way forward to plank. Please let everyone lower slowly to the belly and prop up to Sphinx pose. Breathe. Look to the right. Slide your right knee up to hip height. Two unlimited options here. I'm going to give you two. I'm going to give you three. You can stay in Sphinx pose if this feels great. Number two, if this is too much on the low back, come down onto a pillow that your head makes with your hands. Option three, you can really turn up the heat here, the stretching heat. Right hand, so right knee is bent, right hand, thread the needle, right fingertips reach over to the left, and then come down onto your right cheek. And then we did so much work with that outer hip. Feel the whole line, the whole leg soften. We'll just be here for 4 or 5 breaths. You are alone with yourself in this moment. If you thread the needle, just come back onto your left elbow. Bring your right elbow back to the ground so you're in Sphinx in your upper body. Slide your right leg long to meet your left leg. Feel the difference for a moment from side to side. Oh, oh yeah. And then look left, slide your left knee up to hip height. Same options here. You can stay just as you are. You can come down onto a pillow with your hands. You can thread the left arm over to the right, come down onto your left shoulder, your left cheek. And just breathe. At the core of yoga, in its most traditional applications, we're endeavoring to create union. There's 8 limbs of yoga that create this umbrella of yoga. There's, depending on what kind of framework you look at it, there's sheaths of you, there's energy centers that are you. And in yoga, what we're really doing at the heart of all the practices is integrating the selves into one moment of awareness. And all you have to do here is breathe and without judgment, observe your breath. And one more breath. Right elbow back to the mat, left elbow freeze, left leg slides long to meet your right. And you can take another moment right here in Sphinx pose, maybe even plant the palms, lift your elbows up off the mat, take a seal. We're not going to do another back bend tonight, it's late. Make your way onto your back, please. Grab layers as needed. Don't go anywhere without my layers. Just, I'm a moment or two behind you, maybe. And I purposefully haven't given you any instructions. You don't know where we're going yet. How did you arrive on your mat? Knees bent, legs straight, no right, no wrong. Just consider for a moment the wisdom of you arriving in a arrangement that's sweet and kind. Okay. Bring your feet to the floor, bend your knees. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Ankle over thigh, just like a figure 4. You can stay here and interlace the fingers behind the thigh or in front of the shin. You can also turn this into a twist here. So let the right foot find the ground over to the left. It might feel more effortless to you. For some reason today, this figure 4 is feeling wonderful in my body. We're always changing. Stillness is an option, but don't forget that movement is an option. So any kind of gentle rocking that helps you find different sensations, different muscle groups, different connective tissue patterns. Let yourself feel. Let yourself feel what the eye cannot see. And then If you're in a twist, just come back to center, please. Regular figure four, and then drop your right foot to meet the left foot. Shift your hips over a little bit to the right. Let your knees drop over to the left. Really simple twist. If you have props nearby, wedge a block. Two options, either underneath your left thigh, so both your legs are supported, or between the thighs, so your right leg has something to rest against. The work that we did with the hip was a lot of muscle work and stretch work. So these are just really passive stretches for an area of the body we worked pretty hard. Bring yourself back to center. Place your feet on the floor. Feel the difference for a moment from side to side. And cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Find a hip opener here that's juicy. And as you work the connective tissues and the fascia, the muscular system, and the outer left hip, do what you can to let your jaw soften, to let the sides of the neck soften, to let the eyeballs soften. Couple more breaths. Bring yourself back to center, both feet to the floor, knees bent. Shift your hips a little to the left. Use a block or a bolster or any kind of prop to let the knees drop over to the right so that there's no effort. Both of the knees have support, whether it's the floor or your prop. This is totally passive moment. Bring yourself back through center. Give yourself a final squeeze. Take a happy baby. Send the legs overhead. Maybe it looks like Halasana. And we'll let the ankles do you. Shavasana awaits. Send your legs long and wide and let your toes totally flap out to the sides. Arms widen, palms face up. Soft thumbs, soft throat. Relaxed eyebrows, forehead. Relaxed eyeballs. Let your hair relax. Let yourself be effortless. Come back to your breath. Let your body be in stillness for just another few moments. Let your awareness come back. Rides the breath. Keep your eyes closed, please, and re-engage the fingers, the toes, the physical part of you. I challenge you, I invite you to keep your eyes closed. It does not matter where you end up on your mat in any way. Build your way up to a seat. It doesn't matter if you're facing me or you're facing away from me. Come on up. And consider for a moment as you make your way there that everything we've just done over the past hour is exercise, right? We put it under the umbrella of yoga, but it's really just the physical aspect of what prepares us to practice yoga, which is what we're going to do for the next few moments. Take a seat, right? And if we consider the whole intention behind asana to prepare us for a comfortable seat with your eyes closed, just observe the relationship that you have to comfort right now. And if what you're experiencing is something other than comfort, uh, don't feel like you're doing it wrong. Nothing about taking a seat means it has to be enjoyable or lovely or anything other than reality. But if your relationship to a comfortable seat is other, look a little deeper. What is it? Is it something in the physical body that's holding you back? Is it the spine, the hips? There's no right or wrong answer. These are just clues about ourselves. Is it something mental? Is it the um, food you left in the oven, or the clothes in the dryer, or the realtor waiting to get back to you, right? Um, or is it something else completely? Is it an emotional barrier? Just for the next 30 seconds or so, sit without the sound of my voice and just the sensations within you and practice yoga. Gather your hands together in front of your heart. Bow your chin to your chest and take a real moment to honor yourself, to honor reverence in and of itself, its true form of this ability that we have to be in awe, to honor. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here, for creating this virtual space. It is one of the most favorite hours of my week. Have a beautiful day, my friends. Thank you.
Thank you.